Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing. It's essentially meant to actually read Zip-Pair-Doku or Whisp-Pair-Doku, and the thumbnail really almost tells you everything that you need to know about this puzzle. So it's actually a twin of puzzles. As you can see here, Sleuth and his twin sitting there on a bench, whispering to one another. I imagine this is about German whispers. And you can see also their shoe ties, almost like zips. That's really a stretch, I know. But we're actually going to solve two puzzles simultaneously today. And if you're already confused, the best way to sort of help address that confusion is by immediately jumping to the puzzle itself. Now, what we have here is, as I said, Zip-Pair-Doku by Dr. Logic and Whisp-Pair-Doku by Dr. Sudoku. And the grids are actually on two different links that I'll leave in the description down below for you to play along as usual. And it has the same solution on both grids. So the idea is, as you use the kind of clues on one puzzle, you jump onto the second puzzle and continue solving it there. Now I'm going to take, if I'm honest, probably a little bit of the fun out of it by probably drawing all of the clues on one grid. And I've already pasted all of the rules on the one page here, just to make this a little bit easier to record. Otherwise, I think it will be not far off impossible to follow. So, rules first. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so that means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. We are on the zipper one, so if you're not familiar with zipper lines, the idea is that in the center of the zipper, which is this here in the top, in box 1, there will be a sum of some sort. Let's say it's a 5. And the idea is the pairs that are equidistant away from the middle have to sum up to 5. So that could be 2, 3, that could be 1, 4. No real restrictions on the order, but the idea is almost as you zip up from the middle and you continue to zip this up, all of the sums as they come together, or all the pairs, basically add up to the same value. We also have here an X down at the bottom. That is essentially means if that is a 2, that would have to be an 8 to make sure that on aggregate these two pairs add up to 10. Obviously it doesn't have to be 2 and 8, but they have to add up to 10. And not all X's are given. So nothing stops me from putting 1 and 9 next to one another up here in box 3. They can add up to 10, and I do not have to have an X between them. Now, I'm going to flip briefly to Whisp-Pair-Doku by Dr. Sudoku, where pretty much all the rules normal Sudoku applies. You have to play them in parallel. But then the last rule set that we have is the German whisper line. So if you imagine that this is, for example, a 2, the pair or neighbor on the line needs to be 5 or more away. That would be 7, 8, or 9. Let's go with 7, for example. The next digit would have to be 5 or more away. That could be 1 or 2. We've already placed a 2, that would be a 1. And you end up with this pattern. You are oscillating between low digits, high digits, low digits, repeated all the way around. Just one thing to point out, since I've just featured a Dutch whisper line, you cannot have a 5 on a German whisper line. I think you would struggle to put something that is 5 or more away from the digits on a normal Sudoku rule. That's all there is to be said about these rule sets. Only thing left to say is good luck if you want to play this. Maybe you and your twin sibling, or just you on your own solving two simultaneous puzzles. You want to give this a go. There'll be 2 links in the description down below for you to play. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock. I'm actually going to do it on this puzzle. Restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, like I said, I am going to take a bit of the fun out of this by copying these German whisper lines across using the line tool, just to make this a little bit easier to record. I think otherwise this will be very awkward having to jump between these, and I never know what I'm going to sort of make a mistake on. So you see me just diligently copying these lines across, hopefully diligently. It'll be very embarrassing if I copy it incorrectly, and that's the reason why I cannot solve it. And that is, I believe, the German whispers from Whisp-Pair-Doku transferred onto Zip-Pair-Doku. They look correct to me and complete. Right, let's figure out how to solve. Oh, so one more thing I'm going to do on zipper lines is I often mark where the center is. It just helps me to avoid having to go through this multiple times as part of the solve. So that's all the centers of the zip line. And I know basically that all of these pairs, grouped with these pairs, have to add up to this number now. And this might not be a bad place to start, because essentially what you have in here is 3 different pairs, and I know they're different because they're all in the same box. So 3 different pairs that add up to the same digit. And if you're not familiar with kind of your pairings, that would limit it to 7, 8, and 9. Because even if you try and put a 6 in here, there's only 2 ways of doing 6. 1, 5 and a 2, 4 pair, 4, not 3. And that would also not work in here. So this is from 7, 8, and 9. Whatever it is, we know that it is a high digit, and therefore we can color the rest of this German whisper line with the polarities on here. I'll use red for high as in 6, 7, 8, 9, and blue for low as in 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is immediately helpful because I know that these are from 7, 8, and 9. Imagine if any single one of them is a 6. It has 2 neighboring digits that can see each other, and they would both have to be 1, which would immediately break the puzzle. So this red cell has 2 neighbors that can see one another, same here, and same here. So all of these are 7, 8, 9. That means, in addition to the fact that obviously I can't place 5 in any of these because they're German whispers, there is a 5 in here. There's also 6 in here because I've already placed 7, 8, and 9. Because I can place 4 with a 9 in here, I don't actually know what is the remaining one that joins it. So I'm going to move on from here. Same thing, 2 neighboring blues. This cannot be a 6. This is from 7, 8, and 9. And this one, kind of very similar logic to what I did earlier. Sorry, that is Mrs. Sleuth and our dog coming back from their walk. Let me pause a second. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Let me just continue. So yeah, I was in box 8 looking at this, which is 7, 8, and 9 again. Same logic, 3 different pairs that have to add up to this total. This can be no smaller than 7, 8, 9. That gives us a 7, 8, 9 triplet. That gives me a 4, 6 in here. And you wonder why, because on a 10, you need to have 1 high digit, 1 low digit. Since I've used all the high digits except 6, that has to be a 6, joint of course with a 4 to add up to 10. Then we're left with, again, 5 can never be on a German whisper line. The only place a 5 can be in row 8. I don't know why it took me so long until minute 3, almost 4, to place the first digits, but that is our first one. So that is 5. Because we've got a 4, these are now from 1, 2s, and 3s. That's a low digit, high, low, high. And that's 6, that's 4. 6 can only be adjoining a 1. This is not a 1. There is a 1 in here. This is 1, 2, or 3. And in fact, where does 4 go now in box 7? We know now this is a 4, 5, 6 triplet. I know that there's a 4 in here. In fact, I know that there is 4 and 6. No, hang on. I can place 4 there with a double 9. So that was a bad call, but there's definitely a 6 down here. Right, we need a digit, a high digit that can be next to the 2, 3. That is 7, 8, or 9. Can't be 6, obviously. Do I know anything else at this point? Not really. Not really. So the 5... I think box 8 is still where I want to focus, and I'm just going to try and vocalize what I'm thinking. So if 9 is not what the target is for the zipper, you can see that I would struggle to put 9 anywhere else in box 8 other than in here. If I try and place the 9 anywhere on the zip with another digit, I'm going to get to a total that is 10 or higher. And that clearly doesn't work. So 9 is one of these 2 cells. Therefore, that is not a 9. And then I have two low digits, and I don't know what they are. Right, let's just keep thinking a bit harder here. So this is clearly from 2, 3, and 4 to pair up with a 5 to add up to 7, 8, 9. 4 is not available because of 4, 5, 6, that's not a 4. So 9 is not available. And because of the 9 discussion we just had, that is the 9. And that's a 7, 8 pair. Now, if it's an 8, I can't place 4 on here. In fact, that's not a 9 either. So this is quite, that places a 9. No, I'm getting distracted. Let me just finish what I'm trying to do here in box 8. I'll come back to box 5 where I've already got a few thoughts there. That's an 8. And the reason I know that is 9 is not on the zipper. If I place a 7 in here, it means somewhere on the zip line is an 8. So I'm not getting 8 with a -1 to get 7. I'm getting 8 with a 7 and a 1 to go together. And because there are no 1s here, 1s are down there. The only place I can put a 7 with a 1 pair is a 7 here, 1 there, 6 here, 2 there, 3 there, 4 there with a 9 here. 8 gives me a 7, gives me an 8. 7 needs to be surrounded by a 1, 2 pair, and this is the 3. That's a 3. That can't be a 7. I mean, next to the 3, but also can't be a 7, just full stop. 4, 5, 6. That's an 8, 9 to complete the row. And then down here I have 5, 7, 2, 5, 7. Lovely. Right, so where was I thinking about this? So we have a very similar challenge in box 5 like we did in box 8. In that, where does the 9 go? And if it's not on the center of the zip line, then it cannot be on the zip line. The 9 is over here. Now, if this was a 7, we have the same challenge. Cannot place an 8 on the zip line, and the 8 would have to join the 9 to make an 8-9 pair, where it can't, because we've already got an 8 in here. So that is an 8. This is now, and I've learnt this a while ago from a different puzzle, a 4, 9. Can't put a 4 on a zipper line in the same box, because wherever I put a 4, let's say here, I need to pair it up with a second 4 to add up to 8. So that's a 4, 9 pair. So what we're left with is 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5 in pairings, and I'm noticing the 1, 7 down this column. So 1, 7, because it needs to be somewhere on this, one of the 1s and 7s has to be on this arm, and one of the 1, 7s has to be on the second arm of this zip line. Because the 1 and 7 cannot be on this arm of this, on these two options in this arm. This is 1 or 7, and then its partner is this one over here with 1 and 7. 5, you can now see, can't be anywhere. We've basically literally written everywhere where 5 cannot be. This is the only place for a 5, therefore that is the 3. This is a 2, 6 pair to add up to an 8. This is a phenomenal puzzle, Doctors, Logic, and Sudoku. I don't know how you guys constructed this together. This is 4, 8, 9 to complete column 5. I mean, 4 can never be in the middle of a German whisper, but the other thing is, if that is high, that's low, that's high. These two have to be the same polarity. 4 cannot be the same polarity with an 8 or 9. That gives me a 4. 8 and 9 are the most permissive of all of the German whisper digits. So this can be basically 1, 2, and 3 in any order, except that's not a 3. There's a 3 for sure in here. So we have, what do we have? We don't have a 2. So this is just 1, 3 pair, giving me a 7, giving me a 1, and I should be able to write in that digit, which is a 6. And that allows me to write in a 2, and therefore we have, I'm going to say 5 and 7 to complete column 6. Very smooth puzzle. I think, like I said, I'm probably taking away some of the fun of it by just slapping all the clues together on a single grid. But, or maybe it's about to take a turn for being a lot harder and then having to think about my next step. So I know that this is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Well, it's not 7. So these are the options, 5, 6, 8, 9. I really want to go down that route. Maybe this German whisper line will help. Yes, it will. I'll come back to this. Forget it for a second. Let's just think about what is this digit. Now, whatever it is, I can guarantee that it is a low digit. And the reason I can be so confident about that is, think about what can it partner with. For this to be a high digit, the absolute minimum, given there is no 6, is a 7. 7 and the smallest digit here, 5, would make up a 12. I cannot write 12 in a single cell. So this is a low digit. This is 1, 2, or 3. This is not 1, not 2, and also not 4. Otherwise, we're back to the double 9. This is just forced 3. 3 can only be surrounded by 8s and 9s. Then we have 1, 2. In fact, we don't have 1, 2. That's just straight 2. With 5 or 7, that is 7 or 9. Very smooth. 2. I need a 5 and 7 in here with a 4. So that's 4, 7. That is 4, 5, or 7. 4, surprising. No, it doesn't work. 1, 3. No, it does. It does. No, yeah, 3 is not available. That would be a 1, 3 pair if that's a 4. So that's just 7. That's 5. That's 4. That is no longer a 3, 4 pair. This is 1, 6 or 2, 5. Both of which seemingly are available. 7, just Sudokus down here. Not sure there's, 4 gives me the 9, gives me the 4. Gives me a 4 somewhere on here. Can't be here. That would require a double 9. Can't be there. That would require a double 9. 4 has to be there. That's not a 4. Is there anything else easy Sudokus before I move back? I don't think there is. Neither of these are 5s though, so we can just clean up. I think that is the extent of it at this point. 2s, I mean, I can see that there's a 2 on here. I mean, 2 is definitely not in the middle. You know, 2 pairs adding up to 2 somehow is not going to work. But back to sort of what I was discussing earlier. This is from 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. I'm not sure that 8 or 9 works because we've got an 8, 9 pair now. So this is from 5, 6, just 5, 6. It's not even 7. So the options to consider is 2, 3, which seemingly works with 1, 4, which doesn't work because we've got 4 eliminated from here, 4 eliminated from there. So 2, 3 with a 1, 4 wouldn't work. So 5 is not correct. This is a 6. This is 2 or 4. This is 1, 5. I don't know the order of that. I do know the order of the 2 4s though, because of this 4. That's 4. That's 2. And this is a 1, 5 pair. Not necessarily helpful here. Yeah, I'm not actually getting a lot. So essentially I have a 1, 3 and a 5, 7 here. That can't be a 3, so that's the 3, that's the 1. Now I'm left with a 1 and a 5, 7. Okay. Anything else? There's a 4 in here. Yep, 4 is there. Just Sudoku. All of these 4s eliminating everywhere else. Then I need a 6. These 6s tells me there is a 6 in here. And then I have 1, 5, 7, 8, 9. So this is pretty much done for the moment. 1, 5s. I do have a 1 now, which gives me the 5, the 1. And then I have a second 8, 9 plus a 7. This 7 tells me the order. That's the 7. That's not a 7. That's a 7. That's a second 8, 9. I need a 3 in this box. That 3 tells me that's a 3. That's an 8, 9 in the column. 5 gives me a 6. I mean 4 and 5 I should say. Give me the 6 in here. These are not 6s. In fact, that 4 tells me that's a 5, that's a 4. They're all resolved. That 1 gives me a 2, a 1, all resolved as well. They're not, at least not yet. So this one is probably what's next. Let's just think about what these 2 digits are. There's a 9 in here. There's a 7. Yeah, 7, 9 gives me the order. That's low, that's high. And it can't be 6 because that would require a double 1. Can't be 7, and it can't be 9. This is an 8. Then these 2 cells are low digits. This is not 1, not 2, not 4. This is 3. And in here, I've got 3, 4, and 1 all looking. That's a 2, that's a 6, that's a 2. That 9 gives me the 8, the 9. The 8, the 9. The 9 gives me the 7, 5, 7. That's a 1, 5 pair. I should be able to write this in. Yeah, that's an 8, 9, 8. Should be able to write this one in as well. I mean, that's 7. I mean, I may as well just carry on doing the easy stuff that I can see. The 8, 9 is also resolved. 9 and 8. 1, 5, not resolved yet. So I've done all the low digits. 5, I'm missing a 6, I'm going to say. Then I need a 1 and a 5. And I can't place either just yet. These are now not 3, 4. We know that. Not 1, 6. It is 2, 5. We know the order because of this 2. That's 2. That's 5. That's 1. That's 5. That's 1. That's 5. And I should be able to just finish off with Sudoku. What are these 2 digits? I need a 9. That can only be in here. I need a 3. I need a 1. And a 6 for the finish. Beautiful pair of puzzles that just played exceptionally beautifully. Doctors Logic and Sudoku. And like I said, I probably made this a little bit easier by having it all on one grid. Hopefully you forgive that given I needed to record it. Hope you guys enjoyed the pair of puzzles and the video. And I think, once again, this is a video where it flowed fairly smoothly. I'm glad we're sort of back on that cadence again, rather than struggling for a marathon of a movie. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.